Hi, this is Ron Darling.
This is Skip Lockwood.
Hi, I'm Ron Swoboda of the 69 New York Mets, and you're listening to Mets Musings with Gary Mack.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of MetsMusings.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Mets Musings. It is winter meeting time here in December. It's getting cold. It's getting cold December, and but baseball talk is hot, and the rumors are flying as the winter meetings are scheduled to begin Monday. Actually, they'll begin a little bit tomorrow night. They'll do some talking, but hot and heavy Monday. The big question is, where will Juan Soto be playing baseball next year? A lot of the experts seem to feel that the Mets have the inside track only because of the money. If it's the money he wants, Uncle Steve will not let him go. Uncle Steve will give him whatever he wants. I have a feeling years, money, doesn't matter. This is the guy they've been waiting for. This is the guy they're going to go after completely. Is that going to be enough? Does he want to stay in New York? Is he interested in going to Boston? Is he interested in going to Toronto? We're going to take a look at all of these teams in a second and say, what chances that they have. Now, they say there's 5 teams interested. The experts conglomerate, and this is what they say. And those 5 teams are, of course, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and a long shot, the Dodgers. Now, Soto has played in the West Coast, wasn't entirely happy out there. It's a long way from the Dominican Republic, and he wants to be closer to home. And he wants to play on the East Coast. This is what the rumors are. This is what he has said in the past. We'll see how true that is, but that's the feeling right now. So let's say the Dodgers are a long shot. If you want to go to Dominican Republic, I think Toronto would be a long shot. Plus the currency difference and all of that, I would think Toronto would be out. Boston is a possibility. They have the money. They have a lot of young talent coming, and they can show that they're on the rise. The Yankees, of course, he played there last year, had a great time, had a great season. He could stay there as well. And, of course, that leaves us with the Mets. And the Mets have to offer a team on the rise, a farm system that's rising, and a team that went to the 2 games short of the World Series last year. So they have something to show for Juan Soto as well. Boston, I don't know. Some of the experts say he'll go to Boston. The Yankees, a lot of people seem to feel that the Yankees are out of it, but you never can count them out. So what did it do? What did the Mets do if they do not sign Soto? Lots of possibilities out there. They could go, and first priority would probably be to try to sign Alonso back. That would be their number one priority. They also could get another starting pitcher, go after maybe a Corbin Burns or a Max Fried, something along that line if they want to go in that direction. They could sign Alex Bregman and let him play third. Now, that's especially if they don't get Alonso or Soto. They can move Vientos to first, and Bregman could come in here and play third. If they don't get Alonso or Soto, they could go after Christian Walker and have him play first and leave Vientos at third. Willie Adames is another possibility. He could go to third base. Vientos could go to first or DH. Again, if they don't sign Soto or Alonso, if they sign Alonso, they could still be interested in a few of those guys. Wouldn't be interested in Walker, but Bregman and Adames would be interesting because they either one could go to third, Vientos could go to DH, Alonso stays at first, and maybe you have Vientos play some third and first and give those guys days off in between. I think Alonso, should he stay or wherever he goes, needs some more days off. He plays too many games, and I think he wore out by the time the season came to an end or in second half. So that's one thing to consider. But there's lots of rumors flying around at the winter meetings. Is Jeff McNeil going to be traded? Brett Beatty is drawing some trade interest so far. So could he be included in a major package for a starting pitcher, maybe a Crochet, depending upon what else Chicago would want from there? And of course, the other big news is the Roki Sasaki rumors that are flying around. The Japanese right-hander is expected to officially be posted to MLB teams during the winter meetings, according to numerous reports. The Chiba Latte Marines of the NPB announced that they planned on placing him in the posting system last month, and it appears a 45-day window will be open on Tuesday, allowing him to sign with any club after January 15th, which is significant as it is the opening of the 2025 international signing period. Because he is still just 23 years old, Sasaki qualifies as an international amateur free agent. So his first contract will be limited to a minor league deal plus a bonus related to the size of each team's international signing pool. And a lot of people seem to feel that the Mets are in on him too. And of course, this happens every year. The Mets seem to be in on everything, but even more so now with Stevie Cohen and the money that he has, they have to be considered in every deal. So, Roki Sasaki could be another option for the rotation, and the Mets did make a big signing, if you will, yesterday on Friday. They signed Clay Holmes from the Yankees. He signed with the Mets 3 years, $38 million. They're going to try him as a starter. He was a starter in the beginning of his career, didn't fare that well, moved to the bullpen, and has become a success. But they're going to stretch him out and try him as a starter. And look, if it doesn't work out as a starter, they'll move him into the bullpen and he'll be a setup man for Diaz. So it's kind of a win-win situation. They can see if they can get, 5-6 innings out of him as a starter, if he can be successful in that mode. But if not, they move him to the bullpen. Not a bad move at all. A lot of times if you sign a starter, they're not used to the bullpen, and it's tough to convert them right away. In his case, he's done both, and it'd just be a matter of stretching his arms out to go longer. So Clay Holmes signs with the Mets, an all-star last year with the Yankees. So we'll see what he can produce. Like I said, I think it's a good move because if it doesn't work as a starter, they move him to the bullpen and he can set up Edwin Diaz. The Mets also agreed to a 2-year, $34 million deal with free agent right-hander Frankie Montas last Sunday. A source told MLB.com's Mark Feinstein the deal is pending a physical and includes an opt-out after 2025. And that agreement was confirmed by the Mets. They did announce it. Frankie Montas is a New York Met. So The past three seasons have been a wild up and down ride for 31-year-old Montes, who pitched for four teams over that span and was traded at the deadline twice. And interesting signing here, another member of the rotation. He'll go into the rotation and we'll see what he's got. He's definitely a project. The Mets are taking a chance like they did last year on Luis Severino, more on him, and Sean Manaea to see if they can hit gold again like they did with Manaea and Severino. Manaea has yet to sign. Severino, of course, has signed. Well, a little bit more on that later on in the show. But Frankie Montes is definitely a project. But, a lot of times a pitching coach will see something and say, I can fix that. I think what he's doing is A, and if he does B, he'll get back to where he was when he had his good years. So that's basically what they're going to do. They're going to take a chance. They got him on a fairly reasonable deal for 2 years. So Mets bring in another starter to fulfill out that rotation and hope that they can have enough. So now we'll have technically Kodai Senga, David Peterson, Frankie Montes, Clay Holmes, maybe. This starter could be Tyler McGill. Paul Blackburn will be in the mix. Who else do we got? My mind is going here, but the young guys, maybe Tidwell or Sprout, one of those guys. We'll see what happens with them, but it should be an interesting spring. And don't forget, there's plenty of time. With the meetings are starting, they could make a big trade. They could make a free agent signing. They could sign. I'm sure they're going to sign a boatload more pitchers. We've got some signings listed already that they've signed to minor league contracts, and we'll see what hits. The Mets also signed 28-year-old catcher Jason Jackson Reitz to a minor league contract. They added a left-handed bullpen option, signing 28-year-old Genesis Cabrera to a minor league deal with an invitation to spring training. They agreed to a new one-year contract with right-handed Sean Reed Foley, avoiding arbitration. Reed Foley was effective in 23 appearances this last season, striking out 25 batters over 21 and two-thirds innings with a 1.66 ERA. But he missed opening day due to a right shoulder impingement, which resurfaced in June and cost him the entire second half of the campaign. The team was, happy to see him back. So that'll be another guy in the bullpen now. So they need to fulfill the bullpen too, fill that out as well as the rotation. They did tender contracts to each of their arbitration-eligible players, including pitchers Paul Blackburn, Tyler McGill, David Peterson, catcher Luis Torres, and outfielder Tyrone Taylor. So those guys have all been taken care of. The Mets agreed to a minor league contract with outfielder Alex Ramirez and right-handed pitcher Grant Hartwig that will see both return to the organization for the 2025 season. Ramirez and Hartwig were both non-tendered a contract on November 22nd, becoming free agents. The reunion with the Mets includes an invitation for spring training or Hartwig. So more filler, I guess, if you will, in the minors, insurance step, and possibility of a chance of making the team. All right, let's take a quick break and be back right after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history. Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
And we're back. And let's see, we've got an injury report on Dedniel Nunez. He continues to progress well from a strained right flexor tendon he suffered in August that ended his season. He will work out in the Dominican with Tigres del Licey of the Dominican-based Professional Baseball League, a winter league consisting of 6 teams. If all goes well, he could even make a winter ball cameo. And speaking of winter ball, Luis Angel Acuna is tearing it up in Venezuela there. So good for him. And so that brings us really to the end of the show. The main thing right now is the winter meetings are upon us. And again, the big question is, where does Juan Soto go? Once he signs, that's going to open up everything else. Right now, everybody's on pins and needles waiting to see where he goes. The rumor is he should decide we should know by Sunday or Monday, with a big press conference on Tuesday, make a big splash. So look for that. Rumors may start coming out, as I said, Sunday. Definitely Monday, we'll probably hear that he is signed or decided on where he is going. Tuesday will be the big press conference. So let's hope it's the Mets making the press conference and they get their man, Juan Soto. If not, then once he's signed, then they'll turn to other people like Alonso. I would imagine that he would sign quickly, and a lot of the pitchers will probably sign quickly because of, if you remember last year, Scott Boras had Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, and they signed very late. And they were a disaster. So I think they've all learned their lesson that you got to get these guys signed so they know where they're going. They get settled. They can get into their camp early. Blake Snell signed already. And I think they learned a major lesson last year. So, and I think a lot of these players don't want to wait around. They want to get settled. They want to know where they're going. They have kids. They've got wives and kids. They want to know, do I have to get an apartment, or am I getting a house, or, that sort of thing. So they want to be settled. And as I said, the rumor with Soto is that he wants to decide and have the big splash during the winter meetings. And the rumors are that it will be, we'll start to hear maybe little inkling Sunday. Monday definitely we'll hear, and Tuesday will be the press conference. So, again, let's hope it's the Mets. And as I said, once he's signed, everything's going to open up. A lot of the pitches are going to go fast, I think, for the reasons that I gave. And some of the position players as well will go fairly quickly, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. It could be a very busy winter meetings. It could be dead like some of them. I don't think so, though, because I believe that once the Soto signs, the cork is out of the bottle, and I think You're going to see other signings quickly. You're going to see some trades maybe, made there because people are going to know, okay, I'm not getting Soto now, so this is what I have to do. So we'll see. This is what I have to give up. This is what I'm willing to give up, and so on and so forth. So that's what I think is going to happen. So we'll wait and see. But we'll be back with another show towards the end of the week. Going to be maybe a two for this week because of the winter meeting. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And on Rumble, hit the follow button. And on your audio podcast app, we're on all of them. So no matter where you're on, hit that follow button or subscribe to the podcast. That way you'll always know when another edition of the show comes out. So until next time, remember to keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go, Mets. I'm Gary Mack. I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Music.